I've noticed that some of the most successful and hardworking people tend to struggle with anxiety the most precisely because in the rest of their life, working really, really hard and trying really hard is what kind of helped them get to where they are. But when you take that same attitude and you apply it to anxiety recovery, it doesn't really work because panic attacks and anxiety, it's one of those things where the more you resist it, the worse it feels. The more you try to fight it, the longer it lasts. And the more energy and attention you give it, you're kind of just feeding it. So it's a little bit like quicksand. The more you struggle, the worse you make it. So people who are very, very hardworking, persistent, never give up type of people, they really struggle with this because it's counterintuitive to their nature. They think that if they just try harder and push more and fight it, then it'll pass or they'll win, they'll beat the anxiety. It doesn't really work like that. What is necessary for anxiety and panic attacks is a certain letting go, a certain release of control, a certain release of the resistance and the fighting, putting down the armor, right? Instead of bracing for impact, which just makes your body feel very tense, you let go, you soften. So, what this looks like practically is you would start with a slightly uncomfortable sensation, such as an itch on your leg or some little bit of tension in the back, and you would practice just allowing that sensation, that itch, to be there without scratching it, without immediately trying to get rid of it, but just letting it be there for a little bit. And once you've gotten good at that, once you've built this intuition of what it means to just let an uncomfortable sensation be there without resistance, then you can start to practice on more intense feelings, such as high anxiety. So if you're somebody who's normally very hardworking, very persistent, and you're feeling frustrated and confused as to why you can't figure out this anxiety thing, it's because what worked for you in other areas of life may not work for this particular challenge. So if you have any questions about how to navigate this, feel free to reach out. I try to answer all the questions that I get. Anxiety is something that you can overcome. It just might require a different approach. So best of luck.